Son Goddess. It's been a little while since I've been live, or maybe it hasn't, like last week. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Support Maya's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. We have some new and upcoming events. Have some new projects. Have y'all checked out my blueprint for power? The part I did, part 1, 2, and 3. The last one I did was on July the 15th, which was my solar return. And I'm still basking in, enjoying my solar return. The less I think about it and the least I post, the younger I stay. Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is my son goddess 777. My son goddess. How y'all doing out there? Y'all see my turtle? Every now and then, Turtle Allen. They America, the turtle will find me. Every now and then I come into contact with one. I haven't seen one since I've been in the location that I'm at, but back in my ancestors' land, my homeland, I come in contact to them often. You see how beautiful that turtle shell is? Look at all that ancient, they're so ancient and old. Look at all that ancient writing on that shell. Isn't that beautiful? The turtle Allen. I found him in the grass. Then I was at my people's house, and one just came to the back, just looking like this, came to the back where I was sitting outside sun gazing. One came to the back and was really talking to me. I got it on video. Just came where I was and just started vibing with me. So, and then he vibed with me and went on about his business. That was like in 2025, 24, maybe 24. When I was back home for a little while. So y'all check out my blueprint for power. The part 1, 2, and 3. I think they shadow banned it or suppressed the last one, because that one was talking about the simple way to actually build in the community and to start building our own and circulating our money. I was talking about the susu in the hand, how to build money amongst a select group of people in your community that you can pull together with and start building and stuff like that. And having some power. Like I said, I did the last one on the 15th. Part 1, part 2, and part 3, and that was my solar return, my Earth Day. But I celebrate, I celebrate all the time. I just be like, they say you stay more vibrant when you don't focus on the year and the birthdays and all that. But I mean, I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. But it's true. I mean, it's I think it's true. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to see another solar return, because a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people aren't here. They're not in their right mind. And, a lot of my comrades are gone. My comrades have passed away, or they are they're not even here. And they might be here in body, but their minds are gone, or they either passed away. Some of them, are like incarcerated or have, went through situations where they were. One person that couple of people I went to school with and stuff was gone for 20 some years or more. And I think I don't know if they've gotten out or they may still be gone, but it's just tragic. Like, so many things happen with a lot of the people that I grew up with. Like I said, a lot of my loved ones are not here. Like, my childhood sweetheart has passed on. A lot of people have passed on. A lot of my friends have passed on, or it's other stuff going on where they might be here in body but not here in mind. So I am blessed. I'm blissful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to see another solar return. Like they say, who was that? Prince said, if you don't really acknowledge it, then you stay younger. And I mean, youth is wonderful. I don't really put a lot of weight on trying to stay young. I just try to stay balanced, and I have a lot of people telling me that I look like I'm 20 years my senior or whatever, and okay, what is that's great, but it's not nothing that I'm like obsessed with. I mean, either way, I have fully I have tongue tied. I have fully accepted myself, and and aging is a beautiful thing because, like I tell people, you got to get to the age. You got to get to where I am. I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying. It's not for the weak, and to be here a certain amount of time and what's been going on over the last, several years, I mean, you got to know something, and able to tell somebody and say how's your day and smile, after some of the things we've experienced with, being in the United States corporation, and even within our personal lives. A lot of us has went through divorces, losing loved ones, and traumas and all types of things that we have to, rebuild ourselves from, like the phoenix rise from the ashes. And it's a lot, like, and you only want to get better with, like, you want to age like fine wine. You want to get better with time. You don't want to be an old fool. I've always said that, and I'm not old, but I'm just saying, I've always said I never wanted to be a person that, it's cool when you're young. Your brain don't even fully develop a lot of times, what we don't realize until you're like in your 30s. What they say, that's Christ's number is 33. That's when most people, it depending on what you've been through, if you have like mental deficiencies or health issues or delays, most people will develop their brain fully around 30, depending on whatever, you've experienced in trauma. Some people experience even like brain trauma, spinal cord, and even things like depressions and different things like that, and different disabilities could delay even the development in your 30s. But most people fully develop. We don't, a lot of times when we're like 18, 19, they tell us we're an adult. We don't know what we're doing. Like I was telling hey Mega Bobby 1974, like I was telling some people recently, I said we were walking around here being programmed, and a lot of the things that y'all admired from my generation, it was all an illusion. It was all a psyop. Like that stuff we were doing, it wasn't about nothing. So you shouldn't admire any of that. And I take accountability that we created a lot of we don't take accountability of my generation. And I'm saying that even if I didn't do it myself, as a collective, we were listening to a lot of that music, and we thought those people were like really gangsters, and they had us listening to that music where you're it's about worrying about it, whether a man is being faithful to you, or I noticed a lot of the music was focused on, is a man cheating, or you got to get him his attention so he won't be with the other woman. It's just a whole lot of crap that didn't even matter. Like I was telling a youngster the other day, I was like, we should have been focused on going within, working on ourselves, and learning about this, the spiritual man, learning about the spiritual things. We should have not been programmed at MK Ultra to be thinking about that music. Like the music matters a lot. I'm telling you, like our generation, we really thought these actors were like real gangsters and stuff, and a lot of us was following the music, the women music, the tones and the vibrations and the megahertz, and it had us under a spell, and it had us in a daze. Like, of course, we were prosperous and going to school and trying to make some of our, but the layer, the deepness, the core of the stuff was, the vibe of it was, you was thinking about really focusing on stuff that really didn't even matter, that was a psyop, that was an illusion. It wasn't real. Like it was not what we supposed to be thinking about. We should not have been thinking that hard about that music, and we shouldn't have been that programmed. That's why I say we were under a spell, and now the spell has been broken. And like I tell some of the generations that were looking up to us and admiring us and thinking, like I had someone tell me like, y'all were doing it big and we want to be like y'all, and y'all, a lot of times that's what I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. Whatever you saw us doing, whatever you saw my generation doing, it was an illusion. It was a psyop. Y'all need to, we we're under a spell. So we passed that spell down to y'all. And all that nostalgia and stuff, it was a lot of MK Ultra. It was a lot of programming. It was not real because we were following actors. We were listening to music and doing things based upon, being programmed, and the people were just acting. They were court jesters. They were actors. You know what I'm saying? So whatever we pass down, we have to take accountability, and we have to tell these kids like it really wasn't what you thought it was. Like it seemed like it was the thing we were doing it big and this and that, but we were lost. We were really lost. We didn't know what the hell we didn't know what we were doing, and a lot of our people did not make it. A lot of our people didn't make it to wake up from the spell. They're gone now. They're gone, whether it's gone physically, whether it's gone mentally, whether it's gone, they're gone. Like they didn't make it to this point to be able to get from under the spell. So that's like I said, it's bliss. It's blissful to be here. And now we have it where this generation of the Generation Z, the Gen Zs, what is it? This new generation, the Gen Z, they were born what? I think they were started out in 1997 on up till 1997 up to when? 2097 to 2020, was it 2013 or something like that? The Gen Zs, they are being programmed. The millennials were programmed from what we passed down to them. And everybody's like, oh, they're so bad. The kids are so terrible. No, the kids, what it is my generation, the millennials, my generation, the generation before that, it was obey your parents. The kids, you know what I'm saying, being manipulated a lot of times. I know my generation, we were raised a lot of times by our grandparents, or our Mondukes is what we called it. The parents were working all the time. So we were like, when our grandparents wasn't taking care of us, we were taking care of ourselves. Not saying that our parents they pretty much let us raise ourselves, but the grandmothers was a big part of our, parents and stuff. The parents worked all the time. But you didn't, you know what I'm saying, you didn't really get the attention that you needed from your parents. So a lot of traumas and stuff like that. And whatever traumas we had, we passed it down to the next generation. So you can pass traumas and different things down. Now you look at this new generation, these kids now that's like 12, 13 coming and up above those Gen Zs, they're not taking a lot of the stuff that we took. They're not taking a lot of stuff that the generation baby boomers took. They not taking a lot that the silent generation took a whole lot. That's like the people that's like 100 years old now. No, yeah, like 100. They would be 115. That's the silent. Most of the silent generation has all passed away. They came up during the Great Depressions and all that. Like they took a lot. A lot of my grandmother and them was a silent generation. They all had lost all their mothers. They didn't have no mothers. Their mothers died young. And I really believe that was by design, because a lot of the land was owned by the women, so it could have been where nobody didn't actually take them out. They just could have held back medical care, and they could have, suppressed the health care where things were, happening, and they didn't aid them as far as medicines and health care. So it's not necessarily that somebody took them out, just went and took them out. They could have just slowed down the health. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be an outbreak and they're like, okay, well, we're in certain, groups in certain areas. We're just not gonna really be aggressive with, trying to figure out, how to keep them well. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. It has happened. Like when it comes to like, we know that when it comes to like land and different stuff like that, it is shit. A lot will be done to get a lot of people out of the way so that it can be stolen and different stuff. But anyway, going back to what's going on now with the new generations, the Gen Z, was it the Gen Zs, or it was the silent generation, the baby boomers, then the Generation X, and then the Millennials, and then the Gen Z. So people say, oh, the Gen Zs are like bad and they're taking over everything and this and that. And no, it's the fact of we weren't able to stand up for. A lot of the generations were abused. I had a Gen Z tell me that we were like abused, and that a lot of the a lot of us abused our kids, and that we were abused, and it was just passed. I had this kid tell me that they don't agree with the way we discipline the other generation. Like, they don't agree with how we were disciplined. They don't agree with how we discipline. This is a child that told me this. Like, because I teach children, but at the same time, I listen and I tell, you know what I'm saying? I teach them, but I let them teach me. A 10-year-old told me that the generations were abused, and that it's not right how the abusive that we were abused. The generations before us were abused, and they're not going to take that type of stuff. I had like at this time, this child was like 9 years old, telling me like, you don't just beat a kid. Like, it's just not right. It's abuse. And I thought at first, like, these kids just these kids are just, it made sense too. It really made sense. These kids are different, and this same child is like, I believe this child. I'm like, this child fights ghosts. This it's an adult. It's an adult that it's an adult that this Gen Z deals with, and this adult has been like here for a few generations, like doing a lot of different stuff to keep, not good stuff, but causing like a lot of divide and conquer amongst the generations. This particular, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of these. This is a baby boomer. It's a lot of these old people that's really still here. That's why when they be like, they all gone, they're not gone. There's these old, some of these people been here. They have been causing divide and conquer amongst children with the Generation X. They caused the divide and conquer with the millennials. I sat here and seen it with my own eyes. Now it's this generation that's dealing with it. And the way I see this generation responding to it, this generation ready to kick some tail. They not taking it. I know for a fact, one of them said, if I had to deal with that, honey, it would have went a different way. This is like 11 and 12-year-olds talking like they're not taking the stuff that we took. They're not taking the stuff that the other generations took. And what I believe is happening, hey, who is this? Jasmine Lanier. Greetings. Welcome. Jasmine Lanier. Yeah, one person does all this damage, but what's happening is the generation, hey, Zelaya, Gafaro, I really want to tell you that this generation's not taking that crap. And I mean, it's a thin line between respect the elders and do not provoke your child. Because I know a lot of these people, they provoke these kids. They've been provoking us. They was provoking the generation after me. I've seen them provoke my generation. I've seen them provoke the millennials. I've been trying to do something about it, but it's only so much I can do without getting, like, I'm not back in what is it? I'm not back in the medieval days where I can just, be an assassin or something like that. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble. So it's only so much I can do via the legislature and the laws. But I've been seeing this go on, and I've been saying, like, certain people don't need to be around children, but these children now, they are not letting that stuff go down. Like we were, a lot of us were abused and what you call it, MK Ultra and stuff like that. We were really like naive little lambs and stuff like that. They really treated us, some of these adults, they really were some demons, and even they were treated bad. That's how they, a lot of times the people that are like the people that are like the victims, they become the predators. Like, as far as like treating kids, like people prey on. You'd be surprised at, you think like, oh, these kids live in a nice home and everything is fine. It be some of those older people, and sometimes it be the siblings that's been groomed or whatever by these type of people to harass and abuse the other siblings and stuff. These people are still alive, some of them, but this generation now, oh, they not taking it. But I don't want this generation to get in trouble. I really don't want this generation because people say they are bad. People say that they are out of control. You know, you can't discipline them, and they being set up. They're being set up to go, you know, get in trouble or go to prison or whatever. Although that may be the case, a lot of times they fighting our ghosts and fighting our demons, the things that we did not stand up for, the things that we got abused for, the things that we got mistreated for, the things that we got MK Ultra for. This new generation, on the positive side, they shedding a lot of it down. They're not gonna take it, but at the same time, they're being their energy is being channeled to be destructive. It needs to be channeled in a way for it to be constructive to them. Like it's being channeled where, you know, getting them into trouble or whatever, the way the laws and stuff are set up. But if it could be channeled to be constructive to them, it would be a beautiful thing. And a lot of times now we cannot parent these children with ego. We cannot parent this new generation. When I say new generation, even starting from 1997 on up, and probably, you know, 1997 was when they said the Gen Z started. I noticed that you cannot parent these Gen Z generation with your ego on some do as I say and not as I do. I told you to do this, and Father God and all that patriarchal type, which patriarch is good. Matriarch is good with a balance. But I'm saying you cannot be on some strict father type energy, and then that's women too. Like a lot of women can be very patriarchal. You can't parent this generation with that type of energy that we were parented with. Like, you know, they don't care about you shaming them and calling them, you know what I'm saying, all these derogatory, like they're gonna come back at you with it because they don't feel like that's fair for you to talk to them like that. They want to be treated with respect. And I think that's right. They want to be treated like you want them to be treated, and they will talk back and say stuff to you. You can't use that. I am an adult, and the Bible said that you should obey your parents and not disrespect your elders. They would tell you right quick, you're not an elder to me if you don't treat me right. Like, you're not an elder to me. Like, I don't know you. And you, just because you're an older person don't mean you can talk. You're not gonna treat this generation Z any kind of way. I've noticed that. And some of them are demons, and some of them are like probably just sit here to do what they need to do. And we can't look at that as like, oh, they're just bad, because it's no bad, good or bad. It's only balance. Like some people, like you got these older people, they just been sitting here to divide and conquer. They, like I told somebody, some of these people contracts, they made a contract before they came here that they are supposed to mess up the generations. And I mean, it's not, and and color has nothing to do with it. People say it's this color or that color. I've seen people of all colors doing it. It's not a color thing, it's a spiritual thing, where they have been around several generations and they have done the same thing with the children. They've been allowed to do the same divide and conquer. I saw them doing it with my generation. I seen them doing it with the next generation. I've seen them doing this with a few generations. I lie to you not. And I seen this is like the tipping point where this generation now is not taking the stuff that past generations has taken. And I just wish that, you know, I'd be glad when the energy gets channeled in a constructive way for them, because I think they are the generation to tear this stuff apart. But at the same time, the way it's set up for them not to be here to do it, because you notice a lot of the warriors and a lot of the children energy has been channeled into battling and fighting. They fighting against each other and stuff like that. And I know in my generation when we were young, we did a lot of fighting and stuff too. I noticed we did a lot of fighting each other, and it was a lot of fighting amongst the boys and the girls, and it was a lot of violent stuff going on, but it was children. But at the same time, you know, boys do fight. But being around a lot of boys, you see it was a lot of competition and fighting. But as we got older, that energy was channeled into the music and stuff, you know, the music of being either focused on worrying about a relationship and somebody cheating on you and all this and that. And a lot of times they have the girls focused on it is done subliminally where they got the doll babies where they changing the diapers. They program the girls to get married. I don't think that's happening now. But I know the past generations it was programmed that you get up, you get married, you go to school, you get a husband, and you get your little house with a picket fence and all of this and that. I don't think that's the environment now, but that's kind of dangerous too because that's a psyop because there's nothing wrong with getting married. Marriage is older than this U.S. corporation. It's very ancient and stuff like that. Marriage is very ancient. You know, they had it where they would betroth them, and I don't agree with 16-year-olds and 12-year-olds getting married. But you know, during my my great great grandmother was like 16, and a lot of girls is like 16 when they get a baby or get married. I mean, I don't think that's right. I think that's still a child, being that your brain doesn't fully develop until you're like, you know, in your 30s, depending on the situation that you're in. So I don't think that's right, but I'm just saying 16 is a serious number. And marriage has been going on for long before, you know, we could ever, you know, remember or whatever. But I don't think it's safe how they have opted women to think that it's okay to isolate. Like in other countries, they don't isolate with a husband. It's more like a village. And I'd be glad when we get back to having more healthier. Hey, hello, welcome. Welcome to the chat. It's my son Goddess 777. Support Maya's Temple, healing and unconditional love. I think marriage is a good thing when it's been vetted and we have healthy villages. I don't think we have healthy villages at this time, and I don't think people know how to vet. Like, I don't think we have the matriarch to know how to vet relationships, and I don't think they know how to vet. Because I noticed during my time of finding a suitor, you know, when I say suitor, a mate to settle down with, the women were not in the right mindset to even choose a man, or it wasn't really men in the mindset to help choose a husband or to get the guys and the young men prepared for marriage. Like they didn't know what to do. Like they didn't have any role models. And the women didn't know how to choose any mates either for their like daughters or nieces. Or, I mean, come on, we don't have healthy villages at this point. We don't have a healthy matriarch or a healthy. Even when you're talking about people in the spiritual community, okay, you can say, well, religions are pseudo and religions are not true and religions is this and that. But we find that when people leave religions and come into the spiritual community, they bring their ego with them. They bring their dogmas with them. They bring their stereotypes and the biases and all that right into the spiritual community, because a lot of time it's about how popular you are, how many followers you have, who you connected with and who you clicked up with, and you know, how much work you can do to make somebody's life happy and this and that. It's not. I find that it's not. We have a lot of people that has infiltrated this. A lot of agents have infiltrated where it's not about going within. People want instant gratification. They want the microwavable. They want the microwavable package. Even in the spiritual and conscious community, they want the microwavable package. They want it overnight. Nobody's not thinking about, well, it's seasons. And even when you read the books and religious books, it's talking about there's different seasons, and the sower went out to sow and planted the seed, and you know the tree by the fruit. Nobody's ready to do the work and the dirty work and go inside and take the time. It's got to happen now, and you got to have certain. Even in this conscious community, you got to be that's high school. That's the church. That's the same thing that you've been doing. You just package it up in another name. Now we doing it in the conscious community. So I don't really co-sign to any of it, because when you really have really work done within you, and it's a continual work, it's a continual process, you're not so quick to be judgmental. Because that was what I was doing when I was in religion. Like, in religion, you know what I'm saying? You like, oh, I'm fasting and I'm praying and I'm talking to Jesus all the time. I know when the rapture come, I'm gonna be one of the first ones to get caught up, and I'm holier than thou. So in the spiritual community, when you bring that type of mindset, what that ain't how that's supposed to be done in the conscious community. You don't. You supposed to have judgment as far as when it's time to have righteous judgment. Now, that's a different time when you talking about, oh, This person is harming children. This person is getting over on the weak. This person is doing this and that. It's time to come together and check them. But I'm saying, just like, if it's this thing where, if you're not in my clique and I'm the gatekeepers in the conscious community, if you don't come through my door, if you ain't doing it like my way, then you ain't doing it the right way. You're not gonna make it in. You're not gonna get on a spaceship if you ain't doing it like I do it. I can't tell nobody that they gotta do it the way that I do it, because that might not be the way that they channeling the spirit. That might not be the way they connecting with, you know what I'm saying, the divine. That might not be what the message that my message and their message could be totally different. It don't mean that theirs is wrong and mine is right. Mine is right and theirs is wrong. You know what I'm saying? You could, it's always different ways. Like, it's different messages. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't have to be my way exactly. Your way might not be wrong, my way might not be wrong. I'm just saying, it's just a lot of mess. Like, people, when they bring this, it be people. Like, it be us. I'm gonna say us. It be us that's the problem. It's not the stuff that's demonic. It's not the stuff that's wicked. It's nothing bad or good. It's people. It's people intentions. It's people mindset. It's people hearts. It's people. People are a big problem. I think people are a big threat even to the look at what happened to nature. Look at the animals and stuff. Look at the animals' habitat. People are really, humans are really dangerous to themselves, because when they get their hands in something, oh my God, I know the way, and this is how you supposed to do this, and this is how you supposed to do that. Even with the debate that just recently happened with the 607 Unk and Sayonetta and Jabari, you have a whole lot of different, and what is it, WAC 100, all of that. So you have a whole lot of different people talking about different things, and I listened to it because I didn't want somebody to tell me about it. I listened to it myself, and I just heard like a lot of different opinions and stuff like that. Like, I don't believe in some of the stuff about, the people coming from Africa and this and that, because from my understanding and from what my ancestors told me, we was always here. So people think that because they been taught at the African American studies, and they think that that's true and 100%. And I heard WAC 100 telling Jabari that it's been debunked. I heard the other young guy had a lot of knowledge. He was talking about how, they had a discrepancy with 21andMe, where they was taking the people's DNA and using it for other things, and it was debunked that person that invented that was like not really matching these people with these places in Africa. It's not really credible. So, I'm not debunking nothing that nobody said, but you cannot think that we could come together and have a discussion. I don't even know why people debate. People should just come together and put their ideas out there and talk and discuss it and say, listen, I believe this, you believe that. You might not be wrong, I might not be wrong. Somebody could be wrong, or somebody could be right. Let's say you believe you come from Africa. That's cool with me. If that's what you want to believe, and that's what you don't base your life on and your studies, and you don't, I'm not trying to debate you and debunk the fact that you believe you came from Africa, that you done got your DNA tested and you connected to a tribe over in Zimbabwe or the Igbo tribe or whatever. That's your choice. That's fine. But don't try to tell me what I know about myself, because that may not be what I believe, or that might not be what Marsha believes. So it's fine. It's okay that you have made yourself comfortable with that belief. Even if I don't agree with it, even if I don't think that that's true, and I think you should believe what I believe, if you comfortable with it, then I gotta respect that. We don't have to argue. We don't have to argue and disrespect each other because of that. And just because you might sound a little profound and this and that, and that person, you might think that person is like ghetto, or they from the streets, or they might be a gang member. That don't mean that what they saying is invalid either. I mean, we have to stop that as a people, like thinking like, because this person is well spoken, that they're telling 100%. That don't mean that they right, and it don't mean that the person from the hood is wrong. Just because they're not speaking a certain way doesn't mean that what they're saying is not valid either. I'm just saying we need to come together and be able to have a discussion and agree to disagree, because there's some things I don't agree with. And it's some things that I know for certain that's not true. But I can't make you believe what I believe. And it's no reason for me to disrespect you or argue with you because of the fact of, unless we trying to get views and we want to crash out and get, because people do like that kind of stuff. And I think that's what they was doing it for. Even though I think Jabari on the 607 I don't think he knew that that's how it went. Because, those are older guys. And, Sinetta is the old guy that was like the gatekeeper for everybody coming into the conscious community. Even people like Umar Johnson and even Seti. Was it Seti? General Seti. And everybody came through in by Sinetta. Even Black Magic 363. Anybody you could really think of. Back in the day, they was coming on the show with Sinetta and stuff like that. And I know he's had some issues and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? And I know when he was on that show with 607 I heard White 100 telling him about it's not right to have different wives and stuff like that. Like somebody not going to be happy. And I've noticed that about the conscious community. They feel like that they can have all these wives, but that woman got to be perfect. Like that woman, I just be like, what do they like? Do they really not know that like women in past times were like polygamous too? Like a woman can retract. This is not a conversation for children. This is definitely not a conversation for children. How is it that a woman supposed to just be with one man for the rest of her life? And I did. I ain't gonna say for the rest of my life I did it, but I was married for a long time. But how do you think you can have 5 and 10 wives when a man has to rest up and restore himself in between, the intimate act? A woman can pop right back. Like she can go back. A woman can go back to back with having an orgasm. So that don't even scientifically, biologically make it. And I don't agree with a woman being able to be with every Tom, Dick, and Harry because we are the receivers. So I don't agree with a woman being able to be with however many men that she want and just be everywhere, because we can't do that now because how they have put so much disease into the communities. Until now, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, people could just enjoy themselves and go get a shot and go on about their business and be good. Not today. It's sad that these youngsters now that's just getting out here, a lot of times they are virgins when they first go out and they have unprotected interactions. They wake up with a combination of things. Like it's just bad out here. Like they can't even slip up and make a mistake. Like back in the day, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, but everybody's not perfect. You might have slipped up and whatever, and you be all right. You know what I'm saying? You might date somebody and y'all was responsible. Then you might have been a time. It's a lot of people back in the day that didn't even care about protection, and they ain't have nothing to work. Because I know some of my family members said back in the 70s, I wasn't even born back in the 60s and 70s, but they were talking about how they could go out and just the hippie time, they could just make love all day and be all right, and if something was wrong, they just get a shot and go on about their business. It's going on about their business. It's not like that now. It's not like that now, and I don't know if it's because they don't want us to be loving each other, but you barely can't even trust the person that you married to or you have a long-term relationship with. You gotta keep checking on that to make sure everything copacetic. It's just gotten like that. No wonder, is that by design? Is that by design? Because I know that it was a Epstein of the United Kingdom that would call on these young girls, these beautiful young girls. That's how they get all the models. They will send out a thing saying that they're a modeling agency and they're looking for young, beautiful girls all over the world. A lot of times these people are people like Epstein, like it was an Epstein of the United Kingdom. They said that his private area looked like a mushroom because he never went to the doctor. Now, a lot of those girls that was going out there to his so-called, okay, you hear me, so-called modeling company, but it really don't be a modeling company. It just be a way to get that's how they get all the beautiful women in the world. They'll say they're a modeling company, and they're Victoria's Secrets, and they're this and they're that. So a lot of those women that he was messing with, how they end up with Floyd Mayweather? How did a lot of the women that this United Kingdom in his private area was like a mushroom? How they end up at Floyd Mayweather house and then funnel on down to these guys in Hollywood? And one of the women we know that was tied up with Diddy. What's her name? Jane Doe. I ain't gonna say her name, but anyway, I'm just saying some of this stuff is done by design. You know, it's what is it? The C to the I to this. A lot of this is done by design. It's not a coincidence where it's heavily concentrated in certain groups and this and that. So I believe it's done by design. But as I was saying, this generation you cannot deal with this generation like they've dealt with the other generation. This generation now, the generations Z, they're not taking it. They're like, we're not gonna take what y'all took. It's like they fighting for what we didn't fight for. A lot of these people, they shouldn't even be around kids anyway. So I be like, it's a thin line between them disrespecting their elders and protecting themselves, because some of these people, they have been hurting the generations for so long until, hey, the gig is up. I don't know. I don't want any kids to like get into trouble or anything like that, and I don't want them to hurt no innocent people or nothing like that, but some of these people paying for some stuff they done did generation to the different generation. They have been a lot as a collective. A lot of these people now that's here now and let these kids be abused. They done cause a lot of divide and conquer and hurt people and cause a lot of divisions and stuff. I got people now that's grown and they don't want to date certain groups of people because of what they did happen to them when they were children from certain women that look like certain groups of women. They don't want. That's why a lot of these men be angry, because they still dealing with childhood trauma. I talked to somebody today and they blatantly told me the reason why they don't date certain groups is because of what they went through as a kid. I'm like, you can't let that hinder you, and you gotta let that pain go. And you know what they told me? They don't care what I say. They don't want to deal with that. They went through that when they was a kid, and that's what they see as somebody that's somebody that they don't. Isn't that sad? But it's true. Like, I'm not a person just to say, who they like it. Why is it? What's the reason? What is the reason that you feel this way? Like, I'm not gonna just be like, oh, they bad people. Why do you make the decisions? I get to the root of the thing. Like, why do you feel this way? Why are you dating? What happened to you in your childhood to make you feel like you're not safe and secure with a woman that reminds you of this type of woman? Why? So I get to the root of the issue. I want to know what make it tick, make people tick. That's what I want to know. I want to get to the bottom of it, to the root of it. So yeah, so a lot of these people, they pretend like they all holy and good, and they done. And it's women. It ain't just the men, it's women. Like, our matriarch, it has not been healthy for a long time. And I'm not saying that nobody did anything to them. I'm not saying that they weren't victims, but you cannot be a victim and then you become a predator and hurting other people like you were hurt. That's when it comes to you making a choice of how you gonna react to something. Like, somebody do something to me, why am I gonna go and do that to somebody else? Why can't I take that and use it for the good or balance out? Like, I don't have to become the predator. And when I say predator, it ain't necessarily things of SA children. And you can be abusive in a lot of ways. You can be verbally abusive. You can abuse a child. You can abuse a child by buying them too much stuff and not disciplining them and letting them eat. That's abuse. Letting a child eat cookies every day, and they not getting no vegetables. They're not getting any proteins. They're not getting any vitamin C. They're not eating a balanced diet to get magnesium and different nutrients and minerals and vitamins that they need for them. But that's abuse. And I'm giving you money. I'm never saying no. When you ask me for something, and it's always yes, yes, yes. You don't have to have no consequences. You can just do what you want, eat what you want, get what you want. What's gonna have your teeth gonna fall out? Your hair gonna fall out. You're not gonna be going to the bathroom normally, so you're gonna get sick. That's abuse and neglect. And you don't know how to when you get older and somebody tell you no, you're gonna be ready to spaz out because you've been given what you wanted all the time, and nobody ever told you no, and you ain't never had to go through emotionally, what you call it, regulating yourself or regulating your nervous system, because everything has been a fantasy. It's not the real world. Then when you get out in the real world and see how things really go, you're gonna have a breakdown. So that's abuse too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, this generation here, they're not taking that. When they see you showing partiality between them, they're not gonna do like my generation did, which we tried to stand up and fight. But a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, those people were like, get out of my house, or you're being disobedient, and you got the devil. You know, they use religion as a weapon a lot. Now this generation here is like, they like, go to hell with that BS, because y'all, you ain't right. You an old devil. You not right. We seen how you did the other generations, so we already know where you coming from. They calling them on it, and I just wish that they would be able to take that energy and you know, use it constructively and not to destroy themselves with this legislature. You notice they passing legislature in certain places for the youth, because they know that the energy shifts. What's going on with these planets and these shifts and stuff, with the North Node getting ready to flip to Aquarius and the South Node in Leo, that's the same energy that was going on when Barack Obama came into the presidency. So it's a collective type mindset. It's a time of, you know, things, you know, balancing out. You know, the scale, Maya's temple of judgment and stuff. Like, it's a purification time. The way these planets and stuff. July is a big spiritual month. July is a very spiritual. All of them are, but July is it's a lot of planetary alignments going on this month that has not even happened at all. Man, some of them haven't happened in several lifetimes. Or, like, it's a lot going on with the Sirius star system and the North Nodes flipping and stuff, and it's a lot going on. Y'all need to study it, see what's going on in this month. It's always a lot going on in the month of July, but yeah, the children now, they different. You can't raise them like our generations were raised. They're not taking it. They're not taking the stuff that our generation took. And greetings to everyone. Thanks for joining. I just want to come up here and talk to y'all. Y'all check out my blueprint for power. I did the part 1, part 2. Finished up part 3 on my solar return. I'll be coming with some other stuff. I'll be advertising some other stuff, but it's just different. Like, the kids, the children, they like fighting our ghosts. I seen a child tell somebody, "Hey, honey, you a good one, because if that was me and that lady was doing that to me, I said, I think that it would have been a yellow tag around the house." Like, that ain't funny, but that child said, you sit up here and you abuse people and breaking down this and that doors and harassing people and intimidating people, and then go on with your day and go to church like ain't nothing happened. This generation, no, it wouldn't have turned out like that. And see, it's not right for no child to do nothing to their parents or no adult or harm them or nothing like that. But these people don't realize you cannot mess with, you can't play with these children and provoke these children like they used to play with us. These children, they'll take you out of here. They'll take you out of here. You're not gonna beat on them, abuse them, talk to them, make them feel like nothing without probably losing something. You losing something. Better be careful with them. And it's not a bad thing either. They not demons. No, they not. Some of them might be. Because some people in lower realms and in this realm, some of them are just here to destroy. That's nature does that too. I mean, you can't say, well, they bad, they good, they bad, they good. Nature does that too. That don't mean nature bad. Nature can be destructive. What they say, the creator, destroyer, the preserver, the destroyer, and the generator. Those aspects is in nature. So you got some kids, they just here for one reason. Okay, but you know, I'm like, maybe that can be channeled into even a constructive way where they not hurting innocent people and You know, they're not hurting people that, you know what I'm saying, ain't bothering, like, you know what I'm saying, like each other. They siblings or the people that ain't bothering. It can be channeled. They might need to be like, you know what I'm saying, might need to be a warrior or something like yeah, you can, you know, our ancestors used to know how to do this type of stuff. They used to know that a child, when they were born, what type of ancestor was returning, and they would be able to see. We don't have that no more. We got these pseudo agents or these ego-driven people that's supposed to be in the conscious community, and all they want is attention and money and fame. They not real with the deal and going in within and figuring it out for the collective. Say it's about all of this fame and fortune and attention. You know what I'm saying? Who following who clicked up with who. I don't like this one, I like that one, this one is my friend, then they fall out. It's a bunch of bull. It's the same. They done brought that church BS into the conscious community. You better follow yourself and go within. You better follow yourself and go within and know, even in the conscious community, you better not admire. You can say, I like chew the meat and spit out the bones. Sometimes you don't even want. Some of these folks done got to the point where I don't even want to listen to them. I don't even want to chew the bone and the meat and none of it. I don't want none of it. Some of these folks you just gonna have to leave, not even lit, cause they on some me, myself, and I, and trying to, you know what I'm saying, persuade people to think that if you don't do it my way, then it's no way at all. No, baby. Sometimes you can't go through the front door. You can go through you can go it's other ways. It's more than one way. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's just a mess. People losing it. People, these energies now with the sun, with that raw, so that judgment energy and the purification, people are losing. It ain't just one skin. It ain't got nothing to do with skin color. Cause listen, let me tell you, you can't tell what color somebody is or who they come from by their skin color. People be passing. They been passing. And it ain't even no such thing as black and white. That's a social construct, a status. You don't know what people got in their bloodline. You judging people, oh, they this and they that, and they are chosen ones, and this. The chosen one might be looking like they come from another culture, and they might be the chosen one. They might be the anointed one, the one that you don't need to be messing with. You don't never know. You can't judge a bull by its cover. You gotta try the spirits and test the spirits and all that. You know what I'm saying? And that take to be tapped in and some serious discerning. Because you got agents that, you know, a lot of our movements have been infiltrated by people that look like us. Look just like us. Yeah, it might be, and they say a lot of the people in the background look like us that's really running it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be, you know, yeah, it's racism. It does exist. And it ain't no love. Everybody love people. The people is racist and stuff like that. And there's a lot of racial tension going on now. I'm just saying, you know, it's people that look like us that you shouldn't be messing with and trusting. Yeah. So you just gotta be going within, connecting, grounded, you know, following your gut, so you can know. You can know how to move. It's no need in going out here and building all this other stuff up and you destroying your own house. Like what it say in the Bible, say a wise woman know how to build a house, but a foolish woman she'll destroy, something like that. She will destroy it with her hands. Even these men, a foolish man versus a wise man. They say all this stuff about women, but you got a lot of people that put on a good front. They oh, you know, it's good to have a two-parent. I was listening to somebody talking about a two-parent home. I see a lot of these kids. I was married for a long time. It be hell sometimes in these two-parent homes. Them people should have been separated. Them people should have been got it. The kids would have been safer and more secure by them being divorced. Because a lot of times these kids are, and these people are terrorized when these people are married and it's isolated. It's dangerous. Like I said, we don't have no healthy villages, but that's what it's supposed to be. Even if you marry, just like a lot of these people in these other cultures. They get married, but they have their family, their village around them. And I ain't saying they got their village figured out, but they do be family orientated. In our country, over here in the U.S. corporate, we get married and we isolate with all kind of devils and stuff. We don't know that them people be ready to take your child innocent, and it can be the boy or the girl. It be a woman too that's a pedophile, a pedophile. Not just the men. These women are evil too. I'm not up here being bashing, or it's the women too. Look at my turtle. They always find me. Turtle Island. Look at all that ancient writing on that turtle. But yeah, it can be the men, the women. It ain't. I'm not just talking about. I'm not. No. I'm right is right, wrong is wrong. Whether it's male or female, honey. You got women that's out here doing the most too. And the man and say, "Oh, it's all his fault." When is get involved, but the whole time they've been orchestrating the whole thing from the background, but they blame the man. You know what I'm saying? And all he was being is whipped, putty whipped, and following like a little lapdog what she wanted to do. But then when it all go down, she put it off on him. You know what I'm saying? So we have to do things differently. It's the things are ending. It's a new world, a new beginning. We're gonna have to deal. I'm telling you what I know. We cannot deal with these children. When I say children, they under 30. Some of them children when they in their 30s because their mind ain't developed even then. Children and these youngsters and stuff. And some of these people think like that. That's old. We can't deal with them like we dealt with us in past times with the other generations because it's not gonna work. They're not gonna take it. And some of them are men that they came here to steal what? Steal, yield, and destroy. Said our ancestors, they channeled those kids. They knew what, and they channeled that energy in a constructive way. In a constructive way. You know what I'm saying? When they say bring up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he won't depart. Ourselves and find out who we are. Then we can bring up. We can rear them up. We can make them into what they need to be. And teach them to go within and tap into who they are and stop being trending with the TikTok and following this one and following that one and doing what everybody else doing so that they can put them all in a psyop or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We got to know ourselves and stop, you know what I'm saying, get from under the spell of that nostalgia of, yeah, we had it going. We ain't have nothing. We was being programmed and put under spells and MK Ultra, all of us. It's time to shed the skin. It's time to wake up. It's time to heal, and it's time to sit the ego down. Not let it. You ain't gotta throw your ego in the trash can. But it's time to say my way is not working. I'm not getting through to these kids. Like I'm not. It's my way is not working. I'm not getting through to them. What do I need to do? Because whatever your parents taught you, sometimes you need to throw that all away. Maybe keep a few items. But a lot of that stuff you might need to throw in the trash can because it's not going to work with these generations. It's not going to work with communication. Put your ego to the side. Sometimes you got to be humiliated, unfortunately. And that's embarrassing as a parent, as an authority figure. But sometimes when the teacher becomes a student, you got like he said Kevin Hart's daddy said, you're going to learn today. You're going to learn to sit down and shut up and learn and be the student. You can't always be right. You got to be the student sometimes. You know? And what they taught us is a lot of that stuff is just, I mean, some of it's okay, but the way to think and the constructs and the books and all this, I don't know. We need to start going within though. Like I said, we need to start listening more, be listening and trying to learn on what we need to do. Because if you're doing the same stuff and it ain't doing nothing for you, you need to let it go. Like you shouldn't keep practicing the same stuff and you ain't getting nowhere or it ain't doing nothing for you. But I just wanted to talk to see how y'all was doing in these planetary alignments of July and what's going on and everything. It's a lot going on. Do not get distracted. Focus on yourself and balance and have balance. Have unconditional love. Work on healing, grounding, and your breathing. And I will see you soon. This has been my son Goddess 777. Please like, subscribe, and share and support Mayat's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. And this is Zoloa Gafaro. How you doing? What is it? Zalia. That's a pretty name. Thank you for coming. And y'all have a wonderful day. I mean, night, evening. Like, subscribe, and share.